The infamous tick mark was not always around for Nike. As a matter of fact, it all started under the name of Blue Ribbon Sports on January 25, 1964, when Bill Bowerman and Phil Knight came together and started their journey off into the sports apparels industry. However, there is a lot more to this story that led it to the start of the Blue Ribbon Sports. Their journey is, as a matter of fact, as short as mere 50 years. Within those 50 years, they could turn a small startup into a global corporation known to millions worldwide and loved by the best in the game. Their journey took them to a whopping $100 billion figure to make them one of the most successful shoe companies in the world. But this will certainly not be the fact that will amaze you. The true fact about them that not a lot of people know is that it all started with a Japanese company called the Onitsuka Tiger & Co., Japan. Phil Knight, after just graduating from Stanford, set on a journey to find good ideas to start up his own business. For him, it all started with a paper he wrote titled "Can Japanese Sports Shoes Do to German Sports Shoes What Japanese Cameras Did to German?" With this interesting title, he intended to find a good competitor to the ones which are already there in the market. He continued finding a good competitor and later decided to head out to Japan as a tourist to get better exposure. He decided to get in touch with a Japanese company with the intention of importing them to America. But here, the issue was his lack of experience in this field. He went to Japan as a tourist in 1962 and stumbled upon this company manufacturing shoes way over the quality that was available back at that time. He got in touch with the founder of this company to later reach an agreement to export these shoes from Japan to import them into America. As a matter of fact, he made the name Blue Ribbon Sports on the spot and represented himself as an American shoe distributor in front of the founder of Onitsuka Tigers. As soon as an agreement was reached, Phil became the exclusive distributor of Onitsuka Tigers to the USA. He started off with just 12 pairs of shoes, which he tried to sell from the boot of his car at various sporting events. It did not take long for him to realize that this was certainly not a good way of selling his products. As he started it off in 1963, he decided to go back and get in touch with his coach from university, Bill Bowerman. Bill, being one of the most famous personalities already, was able to help Phil a lot and also was instantaneously impressed by the quality of shoes Phil was trying to sell. Bill had trained a lot of Olympic athletes, including Kenny Moore, Steve Prefontaine, Jim Frell, and a lot more. As they partnered up, their strategies changed and the time started being more fruitful. They then incorporated the Blue Ribbon Sports in 1964. They pooled in $500 each to purchase 300 pairs of shoes at $3.33. The shipment of this purchase reached in April 1964, which was fully sold by July. Yet again, this was a very good sign for their business as they could accumulate a total sale of $8,000. This money was later used up to employ a salesman, their first employee, named Jeff Johnson. It just took another year for them to increase their revenue to $20,000. This helped them open their own stores in 1966 at Santa Monica. With the experience that Bill had through his career, he was able to bring in a lot more innovations into the shoes. Phil was a mastermind at handling the business on the other hand. The concept of jogging was in fact brought in by Bill. He even wrote a book about it in 1966, which sold over 1 million copies. It can also be said that his feedback from America, being sent to Japan, were one of the key factors that helped the shoes get better, be it the materials being used or the nature of cushioning being provided. In 1968, they declared that a model named Cortez was their best-selling shoe. One of the main reasons for that was the 1968 Olympics in Mexico. By 1969, they could sell close to $300,000 worth of shoes. This is when they hit their first roadblock. As the sales increased, the next issue which they had in front of them was to figure out their supply. The increasing demand had taken a serious toll on them. All the new shipments they were receiving were being sold at a much faster rate than the last time. The reason was pretty simple. The shortage was being caused as a result of the fact that the Japanese company was making sure that their domestic demands were being met before they export their shoes to America. This is when it struck them that they need to do something beyond this to reach the goals that they have. This is when they decided to make the Cortez model for themselves and not rely on the Japanese company. They waited for their present contract to come to an end and decided to get started with a manufacturing unit of their own. The contract came to an end in 1972, which was just before the Olympics in Munich. Phil went on to prepare the business logistically and ensure that all demands are met as soon as they get started with their own venture. The birth of Nike took a considerably long time. It was in 1971 that they started working on the brandings. Now, the name Nike has a very simple, but a very meaningful origin. It is named after the Greek goddess Victory. This was then followed by the need of a logo, for which he approached a university and got hold of a student named Carolyn Davidson. The task of creating a logo was given to her. The logo, as we know today, the swoosh, took birth for a total sum of $35. Their preparations were, to a great extent, complete, and they were now looking ahead to the Olympic event. They got hold of a network of subcontractors from Japan, while he kept the production completely under his control. As soon as he started importing shoes from the Japanese subcontractors, the sales and revenues shot up as they could now cater to more demand and a lot more supply. He could start it off before the contract had expired, that is in 1971, which gave him a good breathing room. So Nike took birth around the last hour, and one of the major pillars for its growth was the Olympics. This is what takes them so close to sports, and is one of the major reasons why they ensure that their products are, at all times, closest to perfection and of highest quality on and off the pitch. With collaborations with a lot of players throughout the world and sponsorships provided to the best of them, Nike has taken over this industry in a rather exuberant manner. Nike is one of the learning brands in the world today. Their products are assumed to be of the highest quality based on the record they have been setting for the past decades. The 50-year-long journey has provided them with a lot of opportunities and even more exposure to the world outside America and Japan. Their knowledge of the market is one among the best, with strategies being tested multiple times before it is actually put to application. It was in 1989 that they received the title of the largest sportswear in America, and one of the biggest reasons for that was their Just Do It marketing campaign, which still stands as a phrase, oriented only to Nike. The story does not end here. They also went on to sign some of the key players, such as Michael Jordan's in 1984, to come up with the Air Jordans, followed by Tiger Woods in 1996. They have also been closely associated with LeBron James since 2003, and came up with another shoe called the Air Zoom Generation. The story, therefore, has had a fair share of ups and downs. Phil and Bill, from the relation of a coach and student, all the way till business partners, had a successful tenure together. Their work has brought in one of the major companies that we know today on Earth. Nike has made some major contributions and has also been able to bring a major change to the show industry throughout America and worldwide. So that is about it for this video. Inspirations are found everywhere around you. The story of Nike certainly has a lot to learn from, and we are sure that this video would have helped you gain some valuable insights on the birth of Nike and the key people behind the success of this company. We would love to hear your inspirations to work harder. Let us know in the comments section, and we will get back to you in a while from now.